Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I've been seeing all your comments on TikTok asking me for reviews analysis for this one. So today, it's finally happening. But before we get into that, don't forget to check this exclusive discount for it. You can find the link in both the video description and the top comment below. Now let's not delay any further and jump right into the details.
To get things started, let's hear from our first reviewer.
This reviewer, a graphic designer, found themselves in need of a new display after their trusty old monitor finally bit the dust. Their work requires accurate color reproduction and enough screen real estate to manage complex layouts. While browsing in a store, the impressive image of this particular monitor stood out from all the others, but our reviewer was initially hesitant due to its reflective screen and opted for a competitor's model instead. However, they couldn't stop thinking about the superior image quality they had seen and eventually decided to give this screen a try after finding it at a great bargain online. Upon setting it up, this client was immediately impressed. The image quality was spectacular right out of the box, needing only a minor brightness adjustment. For their professional work, magazine layouts popped with more life, appearing much closer to the final printed product. The display rendered pure whites, grays, and blacks with an even illumination across the entire screen. As a photographer, our reviewer also noted that photos looked amazing with excellent depth and realistic skin tones. Even the much-feared reflective screen proved to be a non-issue in their home office, only becoming noticeable on very dark images. While the visual performance is stellar, the physical design has some quirks. The reviewer loves the thin bezel and found the stand to be much more solid and stable than the other monitor they tried. However, they point out that the recessed area for cable connections on the back is poorly designed, making it difficult to plug in cables, especially if an adapter is needed. Despite this minor flaw in its construction, the overall experience was so positive that they returned the other model and have since purchased a second one of these excellent monitors.
Let's start with our first reviewer's experience.
This reviewer purchased this monitor with the goal of using it as a complementary second display for their primary all-in-one computer. Upon its arrival, they were immediately impressed by how compact and lightweight the entire package was, from the surprisingly small box to the unit itself. This slim profile is partly achieved by using an external power supply, which is great for saving space on the monitor, but does introduce another component that could potentially fail down the line. When setting everything up, our reviewer ran into a couple of practical issues. First, the screen sits considerably lower than their main computer's display. For anyone wanting a seamless, aligned side-by-side setup, this monitor will need to be propped up on a stand or a stack of books to match the height. A more significant frustration came from the design of the connection ports on the back. The area is so cramped and poorly shaped that the reviewer's heavy-duty video cable simply wouldn't fit, forcing them to order a new, thinner one. They noted that even a standard cable was a very tight squeeze, a clear design flaw they felt was worth highlighting for others. After temporarily connecting it to an old spare computer, the visual performance proved to be quite good. The picture looked great with a wide viewing area, and thankfully there were no dead pixels. This client personally prefers the glossy finish, finding the image quality richer than that of matte displays, despite the potential for reflections. While it may not be quite on par with their main computer's premium screen, they acknowledged they still needed to fine-tune the settings. In an amusing twist of fate, the old computer they used for testing just happened to be the perfect height to serve as a stand, neatly solving the earlier alignment problem.
Fantastic. Now, let's see what insights our next reviewer has to offer.
This reviewer spent quite a bit of time reading different reviews before finally deciding on this monitor, and overall, I'm pretty happy with the purchase. I'm no expert, but there were a few key things that helped me make my decision. First, I needed something that was basically plug-and-play with both Windows and Mac, and this monitor delivered. I'm using an adapter for my Mac to go from a mini display port through the HDMI DVI cable, but the picture quality is great on both operating systems. Also, I wanted something with HDCP so I could watch my movie collection without any issues. I've had problems with certain movies not displaying properly on other monitors due to digital rights stuff, but I haven't had any problems with this one at all. Wing angles were also important, and IPS displays are supposed to be better than VT displays in that regard. This monitor definitely lives up to that expectation. It's pretty impressive how I can look at it from a pretty sharp angle and still see a clear picture. Finally, the colors are great right out of the box, and there are a lot of customization options if you want to tweak things to your liking. The build quality seems good, and I like the stand. The overall product feels well made. However, there are a few minor things that keep it from being a perfect 5-star product. If you're a serious gamer, especially if you play a lot of fast-paced first-person shooters, you might notice some ghosting. For games like Diablo III or strategy games it's fine, but something like Assassin's Creed didn't look as good. Also, it doesn't have standard VESA mounts, which seems a bit odd these days. You can buy third-party adapters for it online to mount it on a wall, but that's just another expense. Finally, the connectors on the back are in a slightly awkward spot, and my cables barely fit. Still, for my needs, mostly office work, some photo editing, watching videos, and the occasional less demanding game, this monitor is a...
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. See you next time.